A nun has finally lost its crown as the top earner in the Conjuring Universe, and this is the twist nobody saw coming. Warner Brothers. After 7 long years, the horror icon The Nun is no longer the highest-grossing film within the Conjuring Universe. When it first hit theaters in 2018, director Corin Hardy's spin-off featuring the demonic nun Valak raked in an impressive $366 million worldwide, a record that remained unchallenged for quite some time. But the tide has turned, and Valak's reign has officially ended. The latest chapter, The Conjuring Last Rites, has been dominating box offices over the past several weekends, proving to be a powerhouse in the horror genre. Opening in early September, it blew past expectations with a staggering $194 million in worldwide ticket sales during its first weekend alone. This wasn't just a franchise milestone, it set a whole new global record for horror openings, surpassing even the massive $190 million debut of 2017's It. And the momentum didn't stop there. By its third weekend, directed by Michael Chaves, Last Rites pulled in an additional $12.2 million at the domestic box office, securing a strong third place among all movies playing. But the real story lies in its international performance. Starring Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga reprising their roles as famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, the fourth solo installment attracted a robust global audience. It added another $28.3 million from overseas markets during the same weekend, pushing its worldwide earnings to just shy of $400 million. By the time you finish reading this, it's almost certain to have surpassed that figure. In only 3 weekends, Last Rites has comfortably topped The Nun, cementing itself as the new undisputed champion of the Conjuring Universe. And here's where it gets interesting. Despite its box office success, The Nun is actually regarded as one of the weaker entries in the franchise. Critics and fans alike often point to it as one of the least enjoyable films in the series. However, Valak as a character caught fire with audiences, making the spin-off an easy sell when it first came out. In fact, it took several more movies after The Nun to finally dethrone it. Meanwhile, the 2019 release The Curse of La Llorona, which earned a modest $123 million worldwide, holds a peculiar place. It's technically linked to the universe, but producers have clarified it's not officially part of the franchise, adding a layer of confusion to the overall structure. The strength and staying power of the Conjuring Universe, Warner Brothers. For the detail-oriented fans curious about inflation adjustments, The Nun would rake in approximately $472 million in today's currency, give or take. But don't count out Last Rites just yet. With plenty of audience enthusiasm still fueling ticket sales, it's expected to edge closer to the $500 million mark before its theater run wraps up. This means even with inflation taken into account, Last Rites is on track to be the new heavyweight champion of the franchise. It's remarkable that The Nun held the top spot for nearly a decade, especially given its lukewarm reputation. But the franchise excels at turning the unexpected into an advantage. Take Annabelle, the first Conjuring spin-off for instance. Made on a shoestring $6.5 million budget, it grossed a whopping $257 million worldwide. Despite being critically panned, Annabelle laid critical groundwork for the franchise's ongoing expansion and success. The studio learned from early missteps, improving with Annabelle Creation, which was better received by both critics and viewers, a pattern that repeated with The Nun too. Together, these films have helped cultivate a fiercely loyal fan base, building the franchise's total earnings to an impressive $2.8 billion so far. By the end of this year, that figure could be inching close to the $3 billion milestone. Currently, Last Rites ranks as the 12th highest-grossing film globally for the year, and is steadily climbing. It's on track to surpass Captain America: Brave New World, which has made $415 million, to claim the 11th spot, and might even take on the Fantastic Four: First Steps, sitting at $520 million, to break into the top 10. This is especially notable considering Last Rites was made with a modest $55 million budget. It appears audiences responded warmly to the film being a grand farewell to Wilson and Farmiga's Warren characters. But does this mean the franchise is wrapping up? Not at all. Warner Brothers isn't ready to close the book on the Conjuring universe. Reports confirm that a prequel film is already in development. Plus, there's buzz about potential new spin-offs, including the long-talked-about The Crooked Man movie, which would expand the universe even further. What's crystal clear is the franchise's vitality. There's a continuing and even growing hunger for these supernatural tales. In fact, it might be fair to say that the Conjuring universe is in its strongest form yet. For anyone who hasn't seen it, The Conjuring Last Rites is currently playing in theaters everywhere. So here's the question. Given how a critically divisive film like The Nun once ruled the box office, what does that say about the power of characters versus story quality in horror franchises? Do captivating villains like Valak weigh more in audience appeal than critics' opinions? Share your thoughts. Do you agree that character-driven horror can trump narrative depth? Or do you think this trend ultimately dilutes the genre? Let's dive into the discussion below.